see anybody, so we'll call this meeting to order. Please rise for the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome everyone today and ask that you please silence your phones if you haven't already. We'll begin the day with, did you have a certain time for advertise for the hiring? Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and get the minutes out of the way. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll move to approve the minutes of the last meeting.
Second.
There's been a motion made and seconded to approve the minutes as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
3 ayes. I guess we'll get ready for, or go ahead with the big task of opening bids, so that some of these folks, so they don't have to stick around for the whole meeting. Everything's here. Do you have a copy of the advertisement? What we'll bid on? Ready, Max? That's a hot mix bill. Bid. Probably emulsions. That's fuel.
Ready, Max.
Just might keep it on the background in case we have any questions or want back to. And August, those are most likely gravel, I believe. Well, no, Terry might be emulsions. These are probably emulsions. Want me to read them into the minutes?
Asphalt.
Okay. This is a bid for asphalt materials from R-Mix LLC.
Yes.
Okay, all right. I want to make sure I got that right.
Okay.
Number 11 surface, $62.50 per ton. Binder, number 8, $57.25 per ton. And it says liquid asphalt base?
That's on hot mix.
Okay,
That's on number 11 surface and number 8 binder.
that's what's going into it. The price
That's the price.
of,
No, the liquid on the bottom that you see on there is the base price of our AC.
okay,
On our liquid AC, that's the one that you guys let us have the fluctuation on there.
Okay.
If it raises or lowers, either way.
okay, all right. You're not offering us the liquid asphalt?
No.
Okay, all right, that's, I thought that's the way I understood it, but I just wanted to make sure. Let me see. Some paper clips so we can keep, you want to keep the envelopes with them. And we have another asphalt?
This, yeah, that's got
This is
asphalt on it.
asphalt binders.
All right, this is Hot Mix Inc., asphalt products out of New Point, Indiana. Number 5, base is $52 per ton. Hot mix number 8 and number 9 binder. Is that correct? Is there someone here representing it? $53 per ton. And hot mix asphalt number 11 is $56 per ton. And I might ask too, these are picked up at your plant, correct?
Yes.
And yours is Milton, right?
Ours is normal. Ours also, I think it's noted on there that we do have a virgin material, that is an all-new material, not made with any recycling.
Okay. See, another asphalt.
These two are gravel. These two are gravel?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is from Terry Asphalt Materials. And these are for emulsions. And I'm not gonna name them all. If someone wants to see the copies, you're welcome to look at them.
That's the liquid stuff there.
Scan that, or how you wanna do that, into the minutes. Oh, here.
Here's another one that has 2 parts to it.
This goes with this.
Yep. Both these.
So both these,
Go
okay.
with that envelope.
This is a bid from Asphalt Materials. And that, it also is bids on all of the Asphalt emulsions. I think they're the same. Yeah, one's just a copy of the other. And there again, anyone's welcome to see them if they'd like.
I'm ready for a gallon. Okay, you ready for the next one? All right. Here's one from Marathon.
Marathon Petroleum. And they also have bid on looks like 2 of the emulsions. Yeah, so they bid on 3 of the emulsions.
On the bottom. I think it's the insurance bid on that one.
And as well,
What's the bid bonds?
here's what I think
All
is-
this was in this one envelope?
No, but one was in that envelope and this one was in this envelope too.
Oh, okay. All right.
One stone.
We got, okay, here's one from New Point Stone, this came from New Point.
Okay. This is New Point Stone Company. And their bids, they have bid on our stone needs, crushed stone needs. And there's several of them here.
Fuel bid.
This bid is from IMI, or Irving Materials, Inc. And these are bids for our gravel and sand. And ready mix concrete, as well as flowable fill. And it appears that they bid on gravel only. That's normal, isn't it?
One from Harvest Land. A lot of stuff in that.
Harvest Land Co-op has presented us with a bid on our diesel fuel and gasoline needs. This is
A lot of stuff here to choose from. We never know what we're gonna need.
Yeah,
I believe these are delivered to the, down there.
We have some delivered and there's some will be at the pump down there at their station.
And that's probably the retail price and then the tank wagon price. Okay. All right, there are two different prices, so. So that would be Harvest Land Co-op. Ready?
One from St. Regis Culvert.
Looks like it's St. Regis, it's like the gal, or the metal corrugated. No, they have polymer over here too. St. Regis Culvert Inc. is bidding on our culvert needs, culvert pipe needs.
We need to sharpen that knife. don't we?
no, his package just wasn't good. Put that stringy stuff
Okay, this is from Civilicon Incorporated. Culvert pipe, metal and plastic. An entire binder full.
It was ready to escape, wasn't it? Silvacon for all the culverts as well. A motion to take these under advisement.
We take all these
Let,
bids under advisement.
let Jay look them over and make sure they meet all the criteria, and then we'll come back and accept the ones that we need.
Sure, yeah, I second that motion. We for sure want the highway superintendent and the surveyor to look these over. Some of these companies have included their entire product line, because we never know what we're gonna need when it comes to culverts and things. So you just have to, you guys have to sit down and compare their price with us.
You want to take enough time to come back by next meeting, or you want to do it? Do you think you can go through them to make sure they meet all the criteria?
Yeah, it won't take that long to go
All right, okay. I just asked you, probably, Jane would probably like for you not to leave the building with them. So, there's a motion made, seconded, that we let Jay take these under advisement long enough for Jay and Bill to look through them. Any other questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
3 ayes. Do either one of you have anything pressing that you can't take them right now, or? Okay, we'll just let you have them and you can go through them. I want to take this opportunity to thank everyone that has submitted bids. We appreciate it. It helps us do better business throughout the year to have these bids to look at and utilize, so we appreciate it. Got the minutes. Michael, you're first on the list today, somehow. I guess you're the most important one today.
Yeah, right. Least important. Just more to let you know, I got the computers in. Actually got 13 computers in, the 2 that we ordered for, or 3 computers for highway, and then the ones for utilities. So that were the same ones. So lots of computers to finish for the end of the year. The ones that we're trying to finish for assessors, plus the other ones that we had, and then those ones for utilities and highway and everybody else. And also, Amy had requested time off for the surveyors for the 23rd to the 1st, so I'm going to try to get time off around then, at least to get some of my vacation time in around then. So, just
Great.
other than that, I don't really have anything, so
Okay.
unless you guys have some stuff for me.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but we talked about a project at the jail
Yes.
last meeting.
It's scheduled. They have not confirmed with me, but I got with Zach yesterday. He said the best time for them is the 16th and 17th as the install date that they had available. So unless the guy from BIS gets back with me and says that won't work for them, I'm anticipating that as the install date.
Okay.
So they said it should be a one-day install. So best case scenario, we should be installed on the 16th.
So
And training.
it should be up and running before the first of the year then?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So,
Anything else for Michael?
I have none.
okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate it. You have some 144 requests for extension? So, 144 request for extension office, it would be office manager, Stephanie Ruff. They've offered that position too. If we approve it.
They've been without an office manager for how long now?
More than a week.
Like, hey.
Yeah, I think.
Why don't you just check off your notes?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll move to approve the 144 request for the extension office to fill a vacancy of office manager in the person of Stephanie Ruff.
I'll second the motion.
It's motion made and seconded that we approve the 144 request from the extension office as presented. Are there any other questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
3 ayes. Also, while we're on the extension office, just a bit of information. They had some more supplies, I believe, or office equipment that they're requesting to have taken off the inventory that were broken items and whatnot. Bill Gray has looked at them. He agrees that they need to be disposed of. Just FYI, those items are going to be handled through Jane's office to be taken off the inventory.
Okay, they were also making a request to buy some new equipment also.
Yeah, they have a list.
Yeah, but they were, if I still understand the process right, we could okay their purchasing the items they need, but they would still need a
They've got to transfer before council
transfer.
tonight.
Transfer, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got to transfer.
So as
So
soon
There's
as,
a list of stuff.
If the council gives them, approves their transfer request, then we don't need to do anything on
I don't think so. I didn't think so anyway.
that.
Until the claims come before us.
Yeah.
As long as
It's
the
up to
dollar
the-
amount
Up
stayed
to
under
the
the.
council to decide
Yeah.
whether they have the money for it or not.
Yeah. Which they do have the money, it's just, it needs transferred from personnel costs to Dan, because as you mentioned, they haven't been paying an office manager since May. Or something like that, somewhere close to that.
Look on your notes.
Yeah.
I left those notes at home, and I throw them away.
I think that was all on extension office, right? That I needed to bring
Yes.
to everybody's attention. Animal shelter, Dave, you have a 144 request as well, don't you?
Yes, I do. I had quite a few, had about 5 people that put in for it. Mike Sawyer, Sour, I'm sorry. He had the background working over in Union County before, and he has been helping us up there volunteering.
Mm-hmm.
And I do know some of his work ethics, and that kind of helped me make the decision. I do have a second pick, on standby in case this here don't work out. But I'd like to get approval for him if I may.
I'll move to approve the 144 for Mike Sawyer.
I'll second the motion to approve the 144 request for the animal shelter to hire Mike, is it Server?
Sawyer.
Sour.
Sauer.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just had to think about sauerkraut, and then I can think of his name.
Motion made and seconded that we approve the 144 request for the animal shelter. Are there any questions or comments? The only question I might have, Dave, did you run him past or through 911 for any background?
Yes, I just turned that in to Jane today. He had nothing. It was all cleared.
Good. I don't want nothing to come back and bite us.
And that's one thing I did want to, make sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
because he's going to be enforcing ordinances.
Right.
That would be my concern.
Right.
Biggest concern. Any other questions?
Yeah, tell them about your truck.
Oh, yeah, thanks, Mark. The blue Dodge, the Dakota, I drove it up to Walmart to pick up some food a couple weeks ago, and that temperature gauge just went right up to the hot. And so I pulled over and got some antifreeze. I poured 1.5 gallons of that in that truck. And, I fixed that one, we had that fixed of the situation before, because that's what happened before that, it was started leaking antifreeze somewhere, we can't find it. This time I can't see anything. But the truck, you know, I've been holding off on it to see what we're gonna be able to do. But, you know, I'm gonna have to get that checked out and make sure what's going on. And I am gonna have to put a couple tires on the back of it here shortly. And I noticed, I drove it the other day, and I noticed that front end it needs some shocks, but there's still some noise in that front end that I'm not sure about it. So, you know, I need to get all that checked out and see what we can get done with it. And
Year
see
is
which
that,
way to do it.
Dakota?
That's a 2000.
What engine does it have in
It's
it?
got the 318.
The old 318?
Yeah.
The old, or the new style?
Yeah, new style, yeah.
It's
V8?
getting,
Yeah.
it's
It's a
getting
V8.
Yeah.
to the point, you know, where his truck probably needs replaced, but we wanna, before we put a lot of money in it, we wanna look around. Best thing to do, if we can find a place.
I'll
to-
advise the same thing that was advised to me on my 2000 Dakota. When it started leaking, when I was losing antifreeze,
Mhm.
turn it over, dump it. 'Cause
Yeah.
that 3.8, or what is a 318?
Yeah.
We'll end up with more money. We'll
What,
end up,
what's the hit on it or something?
they said it's an internal leak and it's,
You can't fix it.
well, you can fix it, but
But it's gonna cost.
New
It's
engine.
gonna cost to fix it.
That's why I've been holding.
Yeah.
So that's a failing that's common to that model.
It must be,
Yeah.
because mine was a 2000 Dakota, and the same thing started. I was losing water, and internally,
Because I can't see where it's leaking at on the
and
external.
I thought, well, it's just a blowed head gasket,
No.
no big deal. And they said,
Well,
no.
they got aluminum
Down at
heads.
Reedman's, they told me, they said, Jeff told me, he said, I don't think you want to tear into it, because you're
Yeah.
gonna end up
They're expensive.
upside down.
Yeah.
And,
It's gotta be going somewhere. and-
yeah, so I don't know if that means it warps the block, warps the head, causing the head gasket to
Yeah.
blow, or what. But it overheated on me,
Yeah.
and then it started leaking water.
Well, as soon as I seen it coming up close, you know, I pulled over and
So I'm
Did we
I'm
send
of
them
the
looking
opinion-
for that trucks or?
I'm of the opinion we start looking for another
I'd
vehicle.
say go start seeing what kind of price.
See what Frank or
Okay.
at Reedman's and, or
okay,
what
then we want to
Advantage
look at a
can
full
find.
size or a mid size.
What do we need?
Well, mid size is pretty nice to have around whenever we pick up dog food and stuff like that, so we don't have to lift up as much, you know, as far up, you know.
But is it large enough to handle all the animal pickups?
So
that
far,
need to be?
yes. Yeah, and oh, I forgot the truck bed. You even got about a hole like this on the side of the fender well where it's rusting through.
But we'll need to get some prices. Price range is what we're looking at, and then we're gonna have to go to council for, because we don't have it budgeted.
Do we have a mechanic's opinion yet on the truck?
No, I hadn't sent it to
Take the
anywhere
more.
yet, because I just, like I said, I just drove it a few weeks ago and a couple weeks ago and I found that out.
Morris is good, I trust him.
But we
I'll take
had
your
to, we had
advice.
I
to,
think we do need to get an opinion.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, at least have your regular
Get some kind
mechanic
of a
look at
cost estimate of, you know, all that you named off.
okay,
You know, he may end up with more money than the whole truck's worth.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that's what I was
Very
thinking,
easy.
but I just, you know,
So why don't we do that? Why don't we get some prices of, because we're not gonna be able to, we won't be able to do anything till February, right? As far as budget.
Additionals? Yeah, the soonest.
That'd be the soonest we could do an additional.
you know, like, you know, I said to Mark, you know, if I got where it's, to me it's unsafe to drive, you know, every day, you know, we'll park it if I have to and just use the silver truck right now, you know. But right now, you know, it's still drivable, you know, but it still makes you a little thinking, you know, a little bit more about,
Well, as long as it doesn't continue to overheat.
yes, right,
I mean, we don't wanna get out to the side, clear the far end of the county and
Yeah.
then can't get back in.
right, you know, because we don't want to pay a tow bill or anything.
Right.
But I do have a car dolly, so I can haul it.
Well, I mean, at
It'll-
least if it could
yes.
be used for around
Around
the
town.
animal shelter and here in town, you know,
Yeah.
we could use it for that. And then whoever's on call and does the
Right,
makes the county calls, uses the other truck.
Right, that's what I said to Mark the other day, that we can use the silver truck for out of calls. And I do have my monthly report here too at the same time. I'm sorry, Jane, I didn't turn that one in because I didn't have it done. We had 31 animals total. I did have to euthanize 4 dogs. One of them was sick. I had one of them, I was working with a little bit, and I was checking around on it one day, with the scanner, and it tried to bite me, so there's no way I was going to adopt that one out. Then I had 2 of them that was aggressive, that I couldn't even get. I kept them for 5 days, trying to see if I can get them to calm down, but they kept on growling and snapping a little bit, so I didn't keep them because there was no way we was going to take responsibility for that. I did give 2 dogs back to the owners because we found a chip in them, and that was the first time that we had them. So the owners was up to date on the shots and everything, so I let them have their dogs back. Which, that was good that they had the chips in them and they was registered. That's a main thing right there, registering. But we sold 16 animals. Out of 16, 2 of them was claimed. So we sold 14 and 2 of them was claimed, so that's 16 total. We have, at the end of the month, I had 7 animals on hand. Now if you go up there, I'm almost full. But that is, we picked up 3, whenever we pick up 3 dead cats. The others are like possums, skunks, raccoons. We picked up 7 and picked up 2 bites. And that's pretty much my summary there on. But if you want copies of them, I got them. I'll give them to you here in a minute. And that's all I have.
All right, thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
Okay.
Still got a motion on the floor for the 144 approval. All in favor?
Aye.
3 ayes.
Thank you.
Sorry about that, Jay. Thanks, Dave. I appreciate it. There's that bag. Dan, you have something for us today, don't you? First of all, thank you for taking care of that email for me. I appreciate it. I knew you'd know more about that information than I did.
I did get that together and got it in. Today was the due date, by end of business today, so we got them in.
Great, thank you.
They worked and they've responded back, as you've seen already. So they were grateful and we're good.
Great.
One of the things that, as we work toward this comprehensive plan, and Anna is leading the charge on the preliminary information that will be handed off to what I've been led to believe will be a consultant that will compile all of the preliminary information that she's putting together, and she's gleaning that from several different directions. Really, not she isn't. Purdue's really in charge of it. They're doing a lot of the legwork. One of the pieces that we will submit ours probably this week deals with, as you might expect, things that deal with job creation, job loss. All the statistics help give us direction as to what we need to do, where we need to go, what should be our course of action going forward. This is not on the sheet that I gave you. I did turn, Gary, I mentioned you this 48 slide deck. The very first slide talks about changes in jobs from 2003 to 2018. New startups, 5,226, expansion, 3,077, and in-migration, 195. And then right below that is lost. Jobs lost by either closings, 6,589, contractions, 6,406, and then out migration, 183, for a net change of a minus 4,680 jobs over that period of time from 2003 to 2018. It's not new information for us. We've all seen this and heard it. Purdue's done a wonderful job of really capturing all the statistics for Fayette County in so many different areas. And the 48 slides boiled down to some bullet points that Michael Wilcox, which I think each of you have met, the Purdue PhD that has helped Fayette County since I've had the job since 2014. He and Bo Blue have been coming to Fayette County and helping us plot a course. But some of the interesting takeaways on this, and I'll just mention a couple, and I'll sit down. I mentioned the job loss and gains. We did have some gains during that period of time, but they've certainly been offset by the losses. And you've got the sheet in front of you, but if you skip down to where it says other observations at the very bottom, entrepreneurship, 61.5%, and expansion, 36.2%, account for the majority of job creation. And then it talks about new jobs, gains in stage 2 and stage 3 businesses, talks about that. And it says nearly half, 45% of Fayette County jobs are with stage 2 companies, which are 10 to 99 employees. That's what a stage 2 company is. And then just up from that last bullet point, the share of youth 0 to 19 years of age has fallen from 26.9% in 2000 to 24.1% in 2017. In contrast, the share of seniors 60 plus years of age has risen from 20.1% to 27%. So there's less young folks and more, how shall I say it, old folks? I guess because I are one, I can say it.
Semi-retired or retired folks.
There's a potpourri of, what does it say, 60 plus has risen, and that will continue to. It also talks about the population of the county, which will continue to decrease at a rate of 2.8% by 2020, that's next year. If you check today's stats on Hoosiers by the numbers, and I've got these imprinted in my mind, if you look at our zenith, our high point, 1985, we were at 28,000 and change in the county. And you contrast that to today, which is 22 and change, and you do the math, we are at 1950 population stats right now. We are right at where we were in 1950, at 22,000 and change. So reversing that is kind of the bedrock of my job. Job creation should bring a population influx. But if you look at, if you study this, you can also see the commuting patterns and the people that go out of the county. There is a significant number of people that leave the county for their jobs outside of the county and come back. That doesn't kill our population, but it certainly doesn't help it. You do that trend very long, and it doesn't take long before you say, why am I doing this driving? I'm just going to move to where the job's at. So job creation is the key, and we're on the verge of adding a goodly number. I think I know that I've shared it with Dale and I've shared it with Gary. I don't think I've shared it with you, Mark, but I will privately at the conclusion of the meeting. That happens, that'll certainly infuse some money into our economy here in Connersville and could start to reverse some of this. That's the goal, to reverse the population loss and add jobs. That is the sum total of my comments today, unless you have any questions for me, commissioners.
Dan, the only thing that I might say to this, and I appreciate these numbers, and I understand what you're saying as far as people, some people will only commute to their work for so long and then they'll end up moving.
I did.
However,
I did it 22 years. I didn't.
and you
I
didn't. You're a
did
prime
not.
example.
Yep.
That's not always the case.
No.
There were thousands of people at one time that drove to Connersville, drove into Connersville from surrounding counties for employment and done it for many years.
Wayne County, we were Wayne County's biggest employer at one time.
Yes. And so that kind of goes back to my argument. It makes sense as well to promote being a bedroom community as well.
Absolutely. Be the best one you can be.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no shame in that at all. If being a bedroom community is what we become and what our future is, then let's embrace it and make us the best bedroom community that we can be. That's
Because-
why adding amenities and wellness of place and community development is so important.
If those people come to live here, they will require retail businesses to come here. And in turn, will create jobs.
Yep.
Local jobs.
Yep.
So that kind of stems from my argument that a bedroom community can work
It's not a
in
bad thing.
Connersville.
It's not a bad thing.
You know,
Indianapolis is surrounded with them. That
Yes.
seems to be
Yeah.
flourishing pretty well, so.
you know, we just have to sell our community as a great place to live.
And it is a good place to live.
Um,
If you notice,
safe
it
place.
talks about crime here, how it's decreased. That recession caused everything to spike up, drug use, crime, and everything. Well, we're on the down slope of that. We are adding jobs.
Yeah.
The economic development climate in Fayette County is good right now. It certainly could be better, but it's way better than where we were in 2008, 9.
There is some light now.
Yes, there is. I'm encouraged. I hope you are.
So
I hope you guys-
that's the only thing that I would want to add to that. But I appreciate these numbers.
And this is part of the buildup to what we hand over on that preliminary information for the comprehensive plan. I just thought it'd be interesting. I thought you'd like to know. I think that the people who are viewing this and watching this would like to know too, that we're inching forward.
Yeah. Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan. I
You bet.
appreciate it. Okay. Moving on down here. Bill, do you have anything for us
Just a
today?
couple quick things. Weather permitting, they are going to strike Veterans Memorial bypass tomorrow, except the temperature has to stay above 40 degrees for 2 hours, and also the pavement has to stay that in order for them to do it. They think if not, Wednesday's evening, or Thursday's even gonna be a better day, so hopefully tomorrow that'll be finished, and then they'll come back and cut after that and put the reflectors in. They won't do it all at one time, so hopefully that'll get done. I don't know if any of you have driven down there since, at night especially, it's kind of tough to see, you know, without any lines. I mean, you know, I know. But anyway, and then, I talked to Leo. He's got all of his field work done on the small structures, no more surprises. And he'll have his report done after first year.
Okay.
So we'll have that all finished up and see what we need to take care of there for.
Do you have any luck talking with Eric or someone on
I have
that
not. I'm
drive
not
forward?
sure if it's getting too late, probably too late now to finish those 2 culverts down there. I don't know if it's too late in the year yet to get those done.
Well, I know they're still pouring concrete around,
Are they?
so.
I may give him a call and see if he's, because originally I thought he was gonna do it end of October,
I
1st
saw him pouring
November.
concrete up at St. Gabriel's
Were they?
yesterday,
Okay.
so I know guys are still out there trying to do
Okay, I may
concrete
give him a
work.
call and see if he's planning on trying to get that done this fall yet, or.
The drive forward is what I'm talking about.
Oh, no. I've got a bid coming from a company that, I don't know if they probably won't be able to get to it this year, but I'm going to, have a bid from them. I can ask him about the concrete, see if he's capable of doing it,
Yeah,
but, but I need to find out about, Little Bear and Garrison, the 2 small structures that we put the plates over, because he was supposed to, I thought he was gonna get those done this fall, but.
well, I would say if anyone's listening that does contracting work and concrete work, please get a hold of somebody, one of us, if you're interested, because we do need to
Yeah, it needs to be
address that drive forward, whether it's the first thing on the spring list or
Yeah.
yet this winter.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yep.
Any other questions for Bill?
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Jay, what you got for us today? All good news.
You really want good news?
Just give us the usual.
The usual? Okay. We started out trimming trees, and our brush cutter went down again.
Again?
So that put us without anything. We'd got no bucket truck right now because it's still up in Indianapolis.
Okay.
So we're back to putting gravel on roads, taking care of the gravel roads, and trying to clean up what we can, pick up any trash we find out there. So they're keeping busy.
Okay.
Not what we want to be doing, but we'll
If
get
you're
it
picking
done.
up trash
Yeah.
on 700 north, east of Bentonville, there's a mattress laying
Yeah,
at
they haven't
Kenny
got that far
Farms.
north yet.
At Kenny Farms.
I'll remind him about it.
It's been there for a while, so.
Yeah.
I don't know, evidently, they couldn't dispose of it correctly, so.
Yeah, I drove by one day and seen it out there in cornfield. We just been busy doing everything else and hadn't got up there to get it.
The backhoe deals,
They, what happened was, I don't know if you heard about it or not, the salesman that was doing the deal passed away on the weekend.
okay,
So now Don Miller is doing it. He's taking care of it, and then we've got some things they need to fix on it before we'll accept it. And they come got it today, and they're gonna take it back and fix it, bring it back to us, and then it's pretty much a done deal.
is part of the deal a trade?
No, they didn't want the old backhoe.
I wonder why.
Okay,
We'll just leave it down there and leave the forks on it, use it for a yard back, or like a,
I'd really like to see us liquidate it.
yeah.
We got enough of that
But they
stuff
had
sitting
it out,
around.
they had it out picking trash up today. It's easier to pick it up with that than it is a grade all. Because right now we got the cutter on the grade all for trees. When we have to go out, one that's out after hours, it's got that nipper on it. And you can cut a tree limb that big around with it. And it
I
don't
didn't
even slow
realize you had a
down.
nipper.
Yeah, it does a good job.
Do we have, while we're speaking of attachments, do we have a, what do I want to say, a compactor?
No, we don't have a compactor for that, no.
Well, let me ask you, if we had a compactor for the backhoe or the grade all, and we're putting in cans, when we pull away from a can replacement, could we lay asphalt and be done with it and not have to come back?
I don't think
Can we compact with
we can
that to
compact it, but I
100%?
still think it'll settle some, even after you pull away from it with the traffic. Depends on how much heavy traffic you get on it,
Uh-huh.
will make it settle. Because we beat that one down on 650 north of 300 where they didn't pave. They had to put a can in. And we beat it down, and we filled that thing in about 4 times before it finally settled down and stayed where it was supposed to be. So I don't know, it just depends on what the weight, because they was bringing them trucks in with the hot mix on them, driving across it. And that just kept pushing it down. And I don't know it depends on what's in the area where you put your can in at, I guess. If there's any clay in around it, it's not gonna settle down that fast.
Well, could we, I mean, part of that settlement is probably where you can't compact on the
Yeah.
backside of the can.
We've
So
been
could
talking
we
about
use
trying to
flowable
find
fill
trying to
up
find
so
a
far?
hand compactor that we could set down in the hole and put a guy down there and compact it in sections as we fill it in, and see if that won't do it. Because they make small ones like, you've seen them, they use them on, when
Yeah.
they're
Like
putting driveway
lawnmower
stuff. Yeah,
size.
Yeah,
Like that.
but I don't
Yeah.
know if you'll get 100% compaction like you would
I don't know if you would or not.
at the backup on one of those hydraulic compactors.
You get better than you would with the roller, because you're down there right on top of the
Yeah.
dirt.
But it's just it's always been one of my pet peeves, and it's a frustration of everybody. We put in a can, and then 3 months later, we come back and pave it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And they're tired of driving in gravel potholes, for one thing. They're tired of hitting them, knocking the front ends out of the
I know.
alignments. Because we don't have enough manpower to go out and check them every day.
Yeah.
And
See if
and
they're
add to
settled
them
down or
every
not,
day.
yeah.
Somehow, some way, we need to figure out how we can, when we put a can in, we walk away from it and we're done with it. So that we don't have these
Yeah, I don't
front end
know,
busters.
I don't know if the flowable fill would do the job or not.
Well, yeah, I think it'd be too expensive to fill it clear up.
Yeah,
But if you could do the underneath side and then lay
Just
the
around
can
the
in
can, yeah.
and around the can,
yeah,
and then come in with your compactor, hydraulic compactor or whatever, and do this down the sides of the can as you fill it up. But some way, we've got to get to the place where we can walk away from these cans and be done with them when we pull away at the end of the day. Personally. But I know Rush County's got, for their backhoe or whatever you want to call it, excavator,
yeah.
they've got a compactor on it.
We can check and see what you
Now,
can get with it.
they don't pave over them immediately, but they don't have near the settlement either.
Yeah. Well, and that's 90% of the time down here, when they're packing it in, they're just packing it in with a truck.
Yeah.
And you can't get it packed down the way
No,
you need
you
to.
can't.
That's the thing.
I mean, even if we didn't lay asphalt the day we put the can in, I bet we'd have a whole lot less settling
With a compactor.
with a compactor
Yep.
on either the backhoe or the
Yep.
grade off. And I don't know what a used one of those would cost.
I know I could find out. I can check with Southeastern Equipment and some other places and see what
Yeah.
they got.
I'm sure one on the backhoe is gonna be cheaper than a bigger, or one on that grade off, but I don't know.
Yeah, it probably would be. I imagine that grade all getting attachment wrist is gonna be expensive.
It might be,
Yeah.
yeah. So if you would check into that.
Yeah, I can check into it.
I think we could make a better repair if we had a compactor. More permanent
Yeah,
repair.
because we'd been talking about it down there, me and Daryl have been talking about it, and there's gotta be some way we can do it and make it easier.
Yeah. And now we've got these plates too. We'll always have these plates. We could put that across them too, if need be.
Yeah.
If they're really rough or something.
Yep.
Anything else for Jay?
No, I think you pretty well wore him out.
Sorry, Dale.
That's all
I
right.
apologize.
Yeah.
I apologize. I'm trying to make a better road cut.
I wish we could make them all as smooth as.
Well, I think we could do better.
Yeah.
Well, the only way you're gonna make it smooth is you keep everybody off of them.
That could be too. Is there anybody else in here behind the podium hiding? Any mail? Anybody have any mail? Jeff, do you have anything today?
I do not.
Okay. I don't see a council representative. Before we go on to old business, Jay, Bill, everything look all right?
Look good.
Your recommendations are,
I accept all of them, that way if we got one, we can't get something, all over, we can go to the next one.
Did Bill see them too?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Everything look all right to you, Bill?
Is there a motion?
So your guys' recommendation is to accept all of them, you said?
All the old bids, and then, that way if you got one company you go to and he's not ready, and you're ready to start, you can go to the next one and get it. You understand what I'm saying? If he's a little bit higher, that way you can go ahead and start your project. 'Cause we did that one year down there, we
You
had,
get a bigger selection.
gives you an opportunity to get started early.
Okay.
My opinion, I don't mind that idea on stones and asphalt and whatnot, because the location of the plants, trucking and freight may be cheaper to go to a plant down south or a
That
plant
always
up
changes.
north. But the only thing that concerns me is about the emulsions. I mean,
Well, they usually deliver that in, so it's in tanks, yeah.
regardless,
Yeah.
wherever we're at,
We went to start back in,
but it concerns me about paying more or a higher price for
Yeah.
an emulsion.
we went to
Because,
start back in 2013, we was doing something, and we went to start, they, plant that had the low bid wasn't ready to start sending it out yet, and the next one down already had it ready to go. So we got one tanker off of them, and when the other one fired up and got ready, we went back to that.
I'll move to accept all bids.
is there a second?
Okay, I'll second it, but with this caveat, I'll be careful with this, Jay, because if kind of the acceptance of any and all bids gives really no incentive for these companies to be,
Oh, they still come in and
Competitive.
try to outbid each other.
well,
They know you're gonna go with the low bid if they're available to have this material for you.
you know. I didn't realize you'd had trouble getting the material in the past.
It only happened that one time, but it's there to that.
Okay,
If you start early, I think we started, I don't know, we had one of them warm starts.
Could we,
What month it was.
could we amend it just to say that we'll use the lowest bids that are available at that time?
Yeah. Do it. I'll amend the motion that way, yeah.
okay.
Is that
I'll-
better?
Yeah, I'll.
It is
second-
for me. I mean, that's better for me.
Yeah, I want to protect ourselves against it. I'll second his motion as amended. We definitely want to protect ourselves from, we don't want to violate the bid process to begin with.
Yeah.
But if our low bidder is not able to deliver when you need it, you gotta have an out. I understand that.
For, and under the gravels, IMI's got it covered because they've got a plant here in Connersville, and they've got a plant up in north.
Yeah.
And so it's no big deal. You can go to Cambridge for Posey Township, and you can go to Connersville for the Southern Township. But most of these plants, I mean, it may be cheaper to take asphalt out of New Point or down south than it would be for southern paving than it would be to go to Powell's,
That's a long distance to go to get it down Dew Point.
All I'm saying is,
Yeah.
You have-
somebody down south might be closer than going clear to Milton.
I understand that, yeah.
So I think we have to leave ourselves open for those kind of things, but the emulsion, I want to make sure that something's in there that requires us to use the lowest bid that's available of material at that point, given point. So, motion made and seconded that we approve all bids, accept all bids, and use them, the lowest bid that is as needed, when needed.
And based on availability of the product.
Yeah, based on availability of the products. Any other questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
3 ayes. Once again, I want to take the opportunity to thank everybody that did submit bids, and hopefully we can utilize their services for the coming year. We'll move on to old business then. I think there's anything pressing, is there? New business, we've got the approval of the 2020 meeting dates and the claims due dates. Jane sent those to you,
Yeah, I don't have it in front of me, but I've looked at it. I can't find anything to,
are there some, let's see, the election days. So May 6th and
gotta be May
November
6th
4th.
and November 4th.
those, I assume the asterisk means they've been moved.
Your meeting would be the May 6th rather than May 5.
Fine, yeah. All right.
I'll move to approve the proposed dates.
Okay, I'll second the motion to approve the commissioners' meeting calendar and the claims deadline calendar for 2020.
Motion made and seconded to approve the deadline, claim deadline dates and the commissioner's meeting dates for 2020, calendar year 2020. Any questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
3 ayes. Anything else that needs to come?
I don't have anything.
Does anyone have anything that needs to come to the commissioners today?
I'll move to approve the claims and payroll.
Second.
Motion made and seconded that we approve the claims and payroll as presented to us today. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
3 ayes.
Ready to vote.
We'll get those signed before we adjourn.
Do you have very easy access to properties that will be going to Commissioner D? Help me remember before we get out of here today. I'd like to have a copy of those properties.
Whole row of
Oh, you're all right. I understand. I get it.
Children them nowadays.
I understand.
Thank you. You're okay. I don't care what Jeff says about it.
Jeff says I'm awesome.
I know he says that.
That's right.
Wow, there's really not that many on there, is there? Wasn't there?
There's like, yeah, 'cause we
Double
got rid of,
that?
yeah, we got rid of most of them.
See, it's working.
We hope.
some of the properties I've seen people working on them. So, they are getting into the hands of
That's
people
it? That's it.
that want to pick them up.
We're done.
I'll move to adjourn.
Is that official?
It's finished. Yeah. I'll second the motion to adjourn.
Motion made and seconded, adjournment. All in favor?
Aye.
3 ayes. Meeting adjourned.